Hey gang, Spider Paul. This past Saturday we met up at Seacoast, New Hampshire at a local comic shop, jumped in an SUV and drove to Maine and hit 3 different comic shops up in Maine, looking for books and running around and having a good time. The first place we went was in Freeport, and it was a shop called .com Comics, and we got there just before it opened up. And a great shop. It had a lot of cool stuff to look at, did a lot of toys and comics, and was set up really nicely. And the guy that was working was nice enough to show us his back room area where he had tons of storage, tons of long boxes that they were going through. He had a shipping and receiving area where they sent stuff out, and had a room that had a whole row of presses. So they did all their own cleaning and pressing there. Here's what I got at .com. First, I've been reading this new Moon Knight series. Excuse me, let me get rid of the tape here. And so I haven't got issue 4 yet, so I picked that up off the new shelf. The new Moon Knight series is pretty cool. If you're not reading it, check it out. Then, you know me and Spider-Man. I started digging through his back issues of Spider-Man. And I got Amazing Spider-Man number 57 with Kazar. I think this might be a first appearance. I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out. Let me know in the comments if you know. It's probably a mid-grade to between mid and low grade. There's some little bit of a tear in the spine, and it's the wrap is off a little bit. There's a little bit of a spine roll. Because if you look, you can see how the spine doesn't line up. But it wasn't an extremely expensive book for Silver Age, and it gets me back into collecting a bunch of the earlier Spider-Man stuff, which I've said before in some of my other videos. I've been collecting since the 90s, and I'm at a point now where I'm going back into the lower numbers, which are a little harder to find and not cheap. I was able to fill some gaps in my run, so I got 217 with the Sandman. And I got 218. And both of those were in pretty good shape. 218 is really, really clean. And more importantly, it fills some issues I was missing. And I had mentioned before I had everything going back to 253 and was trying to fill before 253. My big find at .com, the black suit, baby, 252. Now he had 3 copies. One was a lower grade copy and one was a higher grade copy than this. But when I looked at the higher grade copy, which he wanted probably double the money that he wanted for this one, it was warped a bit. There was some creases and spine ticks, and it really needed a pressing. The guy needed to either go in his back room and do some work or send it to Erod 212. But the mid-price one was the one in the best condition. You look, the spine's really clean, the corners are sharp. So I bought the one that was about half the money and looked to me to be in better shape. And was real excited to get a hold of that. So we're working our way back in my Spider-Man run, filling in all the gaps. Maybe before I die, I can get down into the 10s and 20s. Then we went up to Portland, and there's 2 shops in Portland, Maine. There was Coast City Comics and Casablanca Comics. First we hit Coast City, and that reminded me of some of the old school comic shops back in the 80s and 90s. You walk in and there's shelves and shelves of stuff and narrow aisles, and it's dark and crowded, and there's all kinds of things everywhere. I didn't end up getting a lot there. That kind of looked to me to be the kind of place where if you had time to dig through the piles and really hunt for stuff, because it was a little unorganized, you might be able to find something really cool for a really cheap price. You had rows of pinball machines in the back and lots of action figures and graphic novels and trades and just all kinds of stuff everywhere. So that's a place if you really want to spend an afternoon digging and hunting and crawling around on your hands and knees, would be a good place to hit and check out. That was Coast City. So I ended up not picking up anything there. I did some hunting and didn't really find any of the things I was looking for. So we spent some time there, and then we hit the road again. And, oh, my lights just went out. We went to Casablanca Comics. Now, Casablanca was, I guess, started out as a smaller shop. And then he had a couple of sites, and he combined them and put them in one big shop. And downstairs in this little storefront in Portland. And he had tons and tons and tons of books. I was really, really impressed with Casablanca. All the new stuff was out. Rows and rows and long boxes full of back issues. And then all kinds of, you want Silver Age stuff, you're looking for Avengers, Spider-Man, Hulk, all the things that I kind of really dig. He had a lot of it there. So what did I get at Casablanca? Well, first I looked at the modern stuff, the new stuff. And I picked up the School Purple cover on the new issue, House of Slaughter. I'm a big fan of Something's Killing the Children, and have some of that run of books. And this is like a prequel series to that. And so far it's pretty good. It didn't blow me away 100%, but we'll see where it goes. I'll give it a shot. And then I checked out, I've been seeing this series called Gun Honey, which is kind of a crime drama. So I said, I'll check that out. So my buddy Jason was there, and I said, man, which cover would you get? And Jason being Jason, he said, I'd get them all. So I got the A cover on Gun Honey. And then got a variant cover, and I believe the artist on this is a guy named Robert McGinnis. He's an older gentleman. He said in the book he's in his 90s, about 95, and he did movie posters for a living. So one of the things he was well known for was a lot of the movie posters in the 60s, 50s, 60s, and 70s. So he's doing these movie-style posters and homages. So I grabbed that, and I thought that was pretty cool. He did a lot of James Bond stuff and things like that, and a bunch of series. They kind of explain it in the book. So if you read Gun Honey, read the notes at the end. It's kind of cool. Then I grabbed the variant on issue number 2, which that's a sweet cover. And ended up grabbing another variant for issue number 1. My girlfriend looks at me and said, "You reading your Portland comics again?" And then this variant caught my eye. And if you're an old movie buff, I love movies. That's an homage to a movie called Breakfast at Tiffany's with Audrey Hepburn. In the poster, she's on the front in a 70s 60s, 70s kind of get up with a cat on her shoulder. And they did an homage to that poster. So that was all the new stuff I got. Now, I started digging around in ASM, looking for Amazing Spider-Man. Yeah, got holes to fill, got stuff I gotta read. So, I found 138. And then jump up to the gaps that I had in my collection. Got 190. Spidey and the Man-Wolf on the cover of that one. $191 with the Spider Slayer. $192. So I filled a 3-book hole there. I also found $209 with Craven on the cover, and these are all newsstands. So I was real psyched to get that. This was probably the lowest grade one. This is probably a low mid grade. The rest of them were high mid and high grade. The books were in really, really nice shape. But the one that really blew me away when I saw it, Amazing Spider-Man 48, The Return of the Vulture. And this book is clean. For a Silver Age book, the corners all look pretty good. No creases, no spine ticks. I was amazed when I saw it, so I had to grab it. So, that was the comic crawl. That was Casablanca Comics, the last place we went to. Then we went and grabbed some dinner and headed back to New Hampshire. Leave a comment, let me know what you think, and keep reading and hunting, guys. I'll see you soon.